The Sealtest milk and ice cream divisions of National Dairy present Jack Haley in the Sealtest Village Store with manager Eve Arden, our singing star Bob Stanton, and our guest tonight, Vincent Price, and starring Jack Haley. There comes a time in every businessman's life when he feels that he should turn to something more important. Jack Haley is no exception. He has turned to the study of music. And as we look in on the Sealtest Village Store, we find him telling Eve Arden all about it.
So you're going to study music, Jack?
Yes, I am, Eve. I'm going over to Nelson's Easy Lesson Music School and take my first lesson on the ukulele.
The ukulele? Well, why a passé instrument like the ukulele?
Well, because of a frustration I had when I was in college. In those days, all the fellows played the ukulele except me. My mother made me study the trombone.
Well, what's wrong with the trombone?
Well, it's not a very romantic instrument. The other guys would take their girls out in a canoe, sit opposite them, and play the ukulele. I couldn't do that with a trombone. My girl took an awful beating.
Oh, well, I know what that poor girl went through.
Oh, you don't know.
I used to go out with a guy who played the tuba. He used to take me canoeing on the lake and serenade me with the tuba.
Serenade you with a tuba? How did it sound?
I wouldn't know. Every time he hit a high note, he blew me out of the boat.
I'm going over to Nelson soon to start my ukulele lessons. I want you to come along, Eve, and... Oh, look who just came in. Virginia Martin. You know, Eve, I think she kind of likes me.
Oh, don't be a fool, Jack. That stage-struck dame is making a fuss over you only because she thinks you can help her with her career.
Hello, Mr. Haley.
Hello, Miss Martin.
Hello, Mrs. Arden.
Now, wait a minute. How many times do I have to tell you it's Miss, not Mrs.? I'm not married.
How come you've never been married?
Well, it's just a matter of supply and demand. What I'm supplied with, there's no demand for.
I'm sorry, Virginia, but you'll have to excuse us. Eve and I were just leaving for Nelson's music school. You see, I'm going to learn to play the ukulele.
Ukulele? Oh, I'm disappointed in you, Jack. I should think a man of your intelligence and position would choose a more dignified instrument.
Well, what would you suggest?
I suggest you take up the flute.
Yeah, that... the what?
The flute.
The flute. What?
Do you by any chance mean the flute?
Oh, please, Miss Arden. That is the plebeian pronunciation. We of the theater pronounce flute as flout.
Well, what do you know? Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm going to put a nickel in the jouk box and hear Gene Crouper play Sow City Sow.
Miss Arden. See, I wish you'd take up the flute, Jack. You see,
how do you do that? I mean,
I play the harpsichord, and when you come over Sunday nights, we can have a flute and harpsichord duet. Farewell.
Eve, I'm going to follow Virginia's advice. After all, a man hasn't lived until he's become the flout half of a flout and harp. Well, I better get over to Nelson's music school. Are you coming with me, Eve?
All right, I'll go with you and try to help Nelson talk you into something more modern than the ukulele. That's so old-fashioned.
Now,
Jack.
never mind. Let's go. Say, this is... Came in on an oboe there. Say, this is a big place Nelson's got here.
Yes, but most of the students are children. Aren't you going to feel silly taking lessons here?
No, I won't. I wonder where Nelson is.
How do you do?
Oh.
Welcome to Nelson's Easy Method Music School.
How do you do? Are you Mr. Nelson?
Yes, I am, madam. And what instrument would you like to have your little son here take out?
My son? Oh, yes, my son. Smart-looking little schmo, isn't he?
I'm not her son.
Oh, all right. We teach all instruments. Now, what instrument would you like to learn to play, and why did you pick the harmonica?
I didn't. I want to learn to play the ukulele.
What the heck is a ukulele?
It's a musical instrument that's shaped like it's shaped like that big instrument standing over there in the corner.
What big instrument?
That clumsy shaped one. See it there? The one with the long neck and the wide top? It narrows a little toward the middle and then broadens out again. What do you call that thing?
Mabel, it's my wife.
Well, A ukulele looks like Mabel with strings.
Yes. Look, Haley, we have just the instrument you should take up, the harmonica.
But I don't want to learn to play the harmonica.
Nobody's asking you. Just sit down and listen to our famous harmonica teacher, Leo Diamond, play something.
I don't want to hear the harmonica.
Oh, keep quiet. What are you going to play, Leo?
Well, I like to play my version of Waiting for the Robert E. Lee.
Well, play it, Leo. Play it. There, wasn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it was very nice, but I don't want to play the harmonica. I want to learn to play the ukulele.
We specialize in the harmonica, and that's what you're going to play. Now just sit down over there with those other people until you cool off and see things our way. I'll be back.
The nerve of that guy insisting that I play the harmonica. Well, I won't do it.
Oh, stop making a scene, Jack. Now let's sit down over here.
All right, there aren't any seats except for one next to that man. He must be saving it for someone. He's got a newspaper on it.
Oh, I hate people who do that. I'll sit down on it anyway. Pardon me, mister. Do you mind if I sit here?
But,
Thank you. I guess I showed him. You know, mister, that newspaper of yours makes a nice, soft seat.
Well, it should. I have a chocolate pie wrapped up in it. I tried to warn you.
Well, you have a lot of nerve doing a thing like that. Who do you think you are, anyway?
My name is Vincent Price.
I don't care who you are. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, slipping a chocolate pie under me when my back is turned.
Madam.
Jack, this man has humiliated me. As my escort, I want you to give him a punch in the nose.
But he's kind of big.
Well, that doesn't frighten me. If you're half a man, you'll defend me. Now go ahead, give him a punch in the nose.
Give him a punch. All right. Price, how would you like to have a punch in the nose?
I wouldn't.
I offered it to him, but he doesn't want it.
Say, you're Jack Haley, aren't you? What are you doing here?
I came over to learn how to play an instrument, and you?
I'm here to learn how to play the guitar.
Why do you want to learn how to play the guitar?
Well, I have to know how to play it for my next role in pictures. You see, I'm going to portray a psychopathic hillbilly.
A psychopathic hillbilly? What has a hillbilly got to go nuts about?
Did you ever hear hillbilly songs?
Oh, that isn't what's driving me crazy. In the picture, I go crazy because I'm frustrated.
About what?
Well, I see all the pretty things in the Sears Roebuck catalog, but I don't know how to write, so I can't send away for them. It's maddening. Hey, what instrument are you here to study, Haley?
I'm here to learn to play the ukulele.
The ukulele?
Yes.
Oh, you kid. 23 skidoo and razzmatazz. The ukulele.
Come back here, you. You can't do that to me. The nerve of that guy.
What are you so excited about?
He laughed at me, and nobody laughs at Jack Haley. You hear me? Nobody laughs at Jack Haley.
How true, how true.
Well, never mind. I'm going through with this as soon as Nelson comes back. I'm going to insist on his giving me my first lesson. In the meantime, I better call the store and see how things are.
Yes, I will.
Hello, Sealtest Village Store. John Lang speaking. Oh, hello, Jack. Yes, everything's okay here. I had to order more Sealtest milk. It should be here any minute. Okay, Jack. Goodbye. Here comes the Sealtest milkman now, singing as usual.
Our milk is one acclaim. You've all heard of its fame. When I had the darndest time remembering its name.
I guess they keep you pretty busy these days, don't they, Joe?
Oh, sure. Everybody wants extra milk during Lent.
Well, that's understandable. Lenten meals are a problem for housewives. Lots of meals have to be meatless meals, yet they still must be appetizing and nutritious. That's where Sealtest milk comes in. There are dozens of ways it can be included in every meal. And because it is nature's most nearly perfect food, it brings rich nourishment as well as delicious flavor to every dish.
Yes, wise homemakers order extra milk during Lent. They use it liberally in soups and sauces, on cereals and desserts, in cooked dishes of every kind. And millions of them insist upon Sealtest milk, one of the world's fine milks. They know that it's famous for rich, creamy flavor, for fresh, wholesome taste. They know that it's laden with health-building vitamins, minerals, and protein, and that its purity is protected by rigid laboratory controls.
So during this Lenten season, why not order extra milk for mealtime use? And always, for fine, pure, wholesome milk, order Sealtest, the measure of quality in milk. The singing star of our program, Bob Stanton, brings you the new ballad, Maybe You'll Be There. Bob Stanton.
Each time I see a crowd of people, just like a fool I stop and stare. It's really not the proper thing to do, but maybe you'll be there. I go out walking after midnight along the lonely thoroughfare. It's not the proper place to look for you, but maybe you'll be there. You said your arms would always hold me. You said your lips were mine alone to kiss. Now after all those things you told me, how can it end like this? Someday if all my prayers are answered, I'll hear a footstep on the stairs. With anxious heart, I'll hurry to the door, and maybe you'll be there.
Oh, Bob Stanton, that was great. Say, Eve, I wonder where that Nelson guy is. I'm anxious to get started with my music lesson.
Oh, Jack, why don't you forget it? I doubt if you'll ever learn how to play anything.
You're still here, Haley. If you still insist on learning the ukulele, I have just the man who can teach you.
Good. Who is it?
The famous Viennese teacher of stringed instruments, Professor Schnitzel. Oh, here he comes now. He's a wonderful teacher, but he's a little nearsighted. Please don't mention it to him. He's very sensitive about it.
I won't mention it.
Oh, Professor, would you mind coming over here?
Oh, I'll be right there as soon as I finish with my viola lesson. Put on some fresh lipstick, Viola. I come back later for the lesson.
This is our famous teacher, Professor Schnitzel.
How do you do, Professor?
I hear voices. There's somebody here, maybe?
I'm here, Professor. Yes, I came over to learn how to play the ukulele.
What kind of instrument is that from, anyway? You should take up something with a bissel more schmaltz. Why don't you learn to play the instrument what I play?
I don't believe you know how to play anything.
Release, you're speaking in the face of the world's greatest tangerine player.
Tangerine? You mean tambourine. A tangerine is an orange.
Yeah, and you should hear the music I squeeze out of that.
Jack, why don't you take up the tangerine? And that you could play good anchors away.
You think so, Weber?
Yeah, providing it's a navel orange.
Look, Professor, I don't want to study anything but the ukulele.
Jack, why don't you forget the ukulele and take up something else?
No, please, lady, make up your mind there what you want to play. I have no time to listen to you two dumbcops while you shilly-shally.
Now, wait a minute.
Quiet, Shilly. I'm speaking to Shally. I waste no more time on you. Goodbye.
Hey, Nelson, what's the idea of sticking a character like that on us? That guy couldn't teach anybody anything.
What do you mean he can't teach anybody anything? He's one of our best teachers. He just finished giving Vincent Price a lesson. Ask Mr. Price what he thinks of
Oh,
it.
here he comes now. I will ask him. Hey, Vincent, I hear you've been studying with Professor Schnitzel. Did you learn anything from him?
Yeah, I pick up a few things here and there. I'm afraid I'm never going to learn to play the guitar in time for my hillbilly picture.
Vincent, how come they gave you a hillbilly role? You're so miscast. You speak such perfect English, and you're so romantic looking. You're so handsome and dashing and debonair.
Ain't it the truth?
Then why are they making you play one of those barefoot hillbillies?
Oh, I don't know, unless it's because my nude feet are so photogenic. If I say so myself, I have tantalizing tootsies.
You know, Vincent, if you play this part right, you might win the Academy Award for the best arch supporting role.
Surely you don't like playing a hillbilly, Vincent.
Oh, I don't mind playing a hillbilly, but it's the psychopathic angle I resent. I'm tired of being a screwball.
Oh, Mr. Haley.
Oh, it's Nelson. What do you want now?
I've found an instructor who's willing to teach you the instrument you want. Joey, this is Mr. Haley.
Why, you're just a little kid. What can a kid this young teach me? What does he know about music?
I'm well versed in harmony, counterpoint, chromatic scales, and symphonic interpolation.
How can he teach me music when he can't even talk English?
What's your name, Sonny?
Joey Preston.
Oh, I think you're cute, Joey. How old are you?
I'm 9 years old. I think you're cute, too. How old are you?
Yes, I am cute, ain't I?
Joey, you go over there and sit down and play for Mr. Haley. Wait till you hear him, Haley. He's a sensational drummer.
Drummer? I don't want to learn the drums.
But Joey Preston is terrific on the drums. You can see him play the drums in this week's current Paramount newsreel.
I'm only interested in the ukulele.
It's practically the same thing. Go ahead, Joey. Beat it out, son. Beat it out. Wasn't he terrific? Joey plays the drums professionally. All the money he makes, he gives to his family.
I got an 8-year-old nephew who plays the drum, too. All we get from him is a headache.
Mr. Nelson, I don't want to nag you, but it's imperative that I learn to play the guitar for my role in this hillbilly picture.
See me later, Price. I'm busy now.
Why is it so necessary that you learn to play the guitar for this picture?
Well, it's important to one of the scenes. In this scene, I sing and play a hillbilly song.
You sing hillbilly songs, too? This I gotta hear. Tell me all about it. Very well. The picture's about a... Oh, wait till I answer the phone first. Hello, Sealtest Village Store. I mean, Jack Haley speaking. Who's calling, please? Sorry we were interrupted, Vincent. What's the scene you were describing?
Well, the scene takes place in a hillbilly's cabin high in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm a-setting by the fireplace brooding, and my ma and pa are talking about me. Ma, I'm worried about our boy Vinny. He's acting a little peculiar lately.
I know, Paul. The doctor feller said Vinny's the sensitive type, and he's going a little nuts.
Can't understand it. He's a fine-looking boy. Looks just like me, Ma.
I know. That's what's driving him nuts. But when he sings, he's all right, Paul. I'm going to ask him to sing the Blue-Tailed Fly.
Don't do it, Ma. Once he gets started on that thing, he sings 98 choruses.
Quiet, Paul. Vinny, will you sing the Blue-Tailed Fly for me in your golden voice, son?
Yep. I'll sing it with my 4 Ozark brothers, Manny, Mo, and Jack, and Jody. When I was young, I used to wait on the master and give him his place, and pass the bottle when he got dry, and brush away the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. The master's gone away. That's a plenty, son. Now. One day he riding round the farm. The flies so numerous they did swarm. One chance to bite him on the thigh. The devil take the blue-tailed fly. The pony run, he jumped, he pitched. He threw my master in the ditch. He died and the jury wondered why. The verdict was the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. That's enough, son. Now you get... They laid him under a cinnamon tree. His epitaph is there to see. Beneath this stone I'm forced to lie. The victim of the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Okay, the master's gone away. Oh, so... I hate to keep a-shooting at you, son.
You've got to stop shooting holes in our boy, Paul.
He ain't got so many holes in him, Ma.
The heck he ain't. Last night I mistook him for a sieve and strained the soup through him. You leave our Vinny alone, Paul. I likes the songs you learned in school, Vinny. You sure do turn a pretty phrase.
Thanks. I'll bet you're glad you sent me to UCLA.
Yeah, mighty proud of you, son.
Thanks, Pa.
I'm not your pa, I'm your ma. You're always getting us confused.
Well, it ain't my fault. You look so much alike. One of you got to shave off your beard. Pa, I want to talk to you. What about, boy? The fellas down at school are talking about women. What's a woman, Pa? Son, you ain't been going to UCLA. I ain't a Johnson, Pa. What's a woman look like? Ask your ma. She saw one once.
Pa, it's time you talk to our son man to man.
Yeah, guess so. Gotta have a drink first. Where's my jug?
On your shoulder.
How'd it get there?
Don't you remember? We had it grafted on.
Now, son, I'm going to tell you all about the birds and bees.
Oh, the heck with that, Pa. Tell me about women.
Okay, but I'm a-warning you. I know more about the birds than the bees.
Yeah, guess you're too old to know much about women and romance, Paul.
What you mean? I'm as romantic as I ever was. And I still got an eye for a pretty face. That's why I'm sitting here a spooning and kissing with your ma like this.
Oh,
What?
that's the goat you're kissing. Pa's over there.
I thought she was wearing a better perfume, eh?
I can't stand hanging around this place anymore, Pa. We ain't got nothing here.
Well, tell us what you want, and I'll get it for you.
I want a bathtub.
What's your language, son? Your mother's present.
And another thing, why can't I wear shoes?
What, and hide your tantalizing tootsies that you're talking about?
And another thing, I want some of them modern conveniences of life. I'll never be content in this place. I've got to get out of here. I'll go mad.
Easy, boy.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get to the big city, any big city.
Calm down now.
Let me out of here. I'm going to, you hear me? I'm going out in the world and get me some wine, women, and song.
Wait till I get my hat. I'll go with you.
I'm a going, do you hear me? This place is driving me crazy. Crazy. Do you hear me? Crazy.
Nice and quiet around here, ain't it, Pa? Our Vinny went nuts, Pa. What'll we do?
Guess we better put him in the circus. The only man I ever knew could talk through a door like that. Hand me that guitar, Ma. Here's what we'll do. We'll sing his favorite song. Ready? A1, A2.
Vinny is cracked, but we don't care. Vinny is cracked, but we don't care. He ain't got nothing under his hair. The man took him away. The man took him
For 35 years, the Campfire Girls have been building responsible citizens and efficient homemakers through their program of learning by doing. Sealtest extends a cordial salute to this great character-forming organization on the occasion of its 35th anniversary. Be sure to join us next week when Sealtest Milk and Ice Cream will present proprietor Jack Haley with manager Eve Arden, Bob Stanton, Frank Nelson, Bob Jellis, and Hans Conried, and as our special guest next week, Charlie Ruggles. Vincent Price appears through the courtesy of Universal International Studios, where he is currently working in their production, Jeopardy! Sealtest Incorporated and associate companies are divisions of National Dairy Products Corporation. This program is written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet and is produced by Robert L. Red. Thursday night is another all-star night on NBC. Stay tuned for Abbott and Costello over most of these stations. This is John Lang speaking to you from Hollywood. This is NBC.